Hey everyone, welcome to the MatMadik channel. I'm back. I finally dealt with the social issue that had been plaguing me for years, as that kept cropping up and um, beating me back when I try to dedicate myself to this channel consistently. Now that's out of the way. Let's get it. Watch me. 3 videos a day at least this week. Hold me to that. If I don't stick to that, drop me a comment and say, not interested, mate. Or if if you don't care altogether, I'd understand by the ratings. But anyway, people, let's talk about Bryson right here. This patriotic Christian rapper is under under an inordinate amount of censorship when it comes to bringing out his messages. Well, at least has been. He seems to be able to bring out some outspoken or some hot topic issue videos on a more consistent basis these days on YouTube, but I've definitely been in his neck of the woods. I too have, suffered a disproportionate amount of censorship when it came to me putting out videos. There's a song playing in the background of this video that I'm playing very quietly. It's the song that I created talking about this whole pandemic forward slash scamdemic. And I just want to make it clear to everybody that I'm prepared to eat humble pie, which I had to do recently, facing a lot of um, backlash at work for my political views, which I do believe is unjust. But I understand that when it comes to, me being a patriot, this is what we go through typically. But anyway, I understand that when it comes to bringing out your opinions and misconstruing them as fact, whether it be me or someone else doing that to me, it can only breed more division. And us being divided and conquered is not what I'm about. Whether somebody's on the left or right, I'm here to listen. I'll I'll take a view on board and actually understand that I may give my opinion on it, but I'm simply giving my opinion. Facts don't really need defense. They just stand true all by themselves. And when something is sound, it doesn't even need to be celebrated so much as just recognized. But you know, I'm confident, like Bryson right now, in just sharing my view because one, I know it's just a view. We've got the 1A, the First Amendment, to protect us on that, even though I'm not in America right now. But hey, this is um, this is the rationale of a sound mind, if you will. And two, I will um, I'll take as well as I can get because I'm not going to demonize people who do not agree with my view. All right, without further ado, let's see what Bryson's got. Let's see what Bryson's got to bring to the table today. His song "Run," I imagine it's probably about. I mean, look, judging by this chain fence he seems to be holding up, it seems to be about patriots being on the run or having a good run of this, getting the truth out, but feeling imprisoned at the same time. Let's see what he's got to say. Is that the caterpillar beat from Eminem's Bad Meets Evil? Who are those people?
They asked for my destination, no hesitation. This heaven waiting,
Hey.
dedication led to a revelation. My transformation, rare occasion, cause it's a narrow path and I'm never changing. This
Hey.
to every nation, the sinning just leads to separation.
The sinning just leads to separation. That's what I'm talking about. No, I see how this. I hear a lot of us, you know, YouTubers talking about social division being a real issue. Many of us feel that me having dealt with my two strikes at my other channel, my native level channel, once upon a time, just being struck down all the time. I would give my 2 cents on a particular documentary called "Pathogen to Profit" with regards to this COVID scandemic thing. Um, you know, as I dub it, in my opinion, but I and many of us feel that we can't even say certain words on our channels because for fear of being flagged by an algorithm. So the way for us to top this, I'd say, is like you said, is taking it back to base principles that are designed to supersede or surpass these limitations put on us. spirituality. Just like a patriot, a true patriot that's not looking to see people divided over left or right. Um, the true Christian is not looking to see people divided as Gentile and believer with regards to who deserves love and respect. So, yeah, though we may feel eclipsed now and then with the stance we take, us patriots, hey, all of us to tell you the truth, because we're all in this together, to be honest. Um, Having underlying principles like this, um, like Bryson does as a Christian rapper, um, can really free us. Some people theorize that like people like Joshua Phillip on Crossroads, that YouTube channel, that countries like China and with their CCP, their communist government, if you will, um, seek to remove religion from society so that um, people would have no moral compass as as of how to judge a government's actions as being tyrannical, good or bad, or good, or holy, or if you will, it's something that they would choose to comply with or not. If religion is in the way to stopping people to comply with the government's demands, then that would be a problem to a government that wants to top the society, or eclipse them. So we can surpass them by simply believing, regardless of what they say. And Bryson, take it away.
More or less explaining the scriptures, let's call it education. This is my predication, y'all using Christ as a decoration. Since the Reformation, denominations and section claiming led to deprecation. But up the church while y'all celebrating. I know checks they chasing till Satan can find his next replacement. First is medication, then next they gon' need your registration. Fake investigations, then this FBI interrogations. Without explanations, vaccine, unvaccinated, new segregation.
Let me hear that line again.
Investigations, then this FBI interrogations. Without explanations, vaccine, unvaccinated, new segregation.
Anyway, that is hilarious. Yes, his list there is spanned over a lot of issues that we've had to face, stretching over the past 2 years. Being divided over divided over political alignment, um, uh, medical choices that is our right to make for ourselves, and ultimately put in boxes by government entities that a lot of us that if one could argue the majority don't really agree with, but we have to just um it seems we have to dance around, or at least play along with, or at least dance around, just to get through the day. This isn't right, and it needs to be stood up to it, so it seems. But sometimes, I mean, just like me with my work situation, that I had to finally appear to relinquish my hard-held opinions, as that I consider to be facts, even though I know it, I feel it within myself. But when it came to pushing on somebody else, not pushing, I don't really pushing on people. When it came to holding it, holding it to the point where people who are trying to challenge me to see things from their perspective would prevent me from doing so, I had to just accept differing opinions over just to get through the day, because yes, indeed, people have been divided to the point where mere opinions about something mere differings of opinions about something can cause people to want to get the law involved in segregating their fellow man, or fellow person. That's not on, in my opinion. But thanks for calling this out, Bryson. What's the solution? Let's get back to it.
This about to be a beat down. You being blind to the fact isn't an excuse to act. See now, oh they won't beef now. I'm not signed to Lecrae, but saying you better is a reach now. Oh y'all boys better peep down. You try me and I'm not saying bye when I pull my piece out. So watch how you speak now. Not in the NBA, but I'm like Cal when I got my heat out.
Kyle Rittenhouse and I got my heat out in the NBA. Yo, man, just like Bryson said, the Second Amendment is there in case the First Amendment doesn't work. You've heard stories recently about a mother who stopped a law-abiding citizen and mother in America, maybe a grandmother, I'm not sure, stopped a mass shooter with a pistol. Um, the solution is indeed, so it seems, is to stand up for oneself. Understand that you can respect someone's opinion through the First Amendment, but when they can't respect your opinion to the point where they want to instigate an attack on you, and you're forced to defend yourself, use that Second Amendment. That's what tyranny is all about. When somebody cannot accept your opinion and they want to take their disgruntlement with you to the point of trying to put hands on you, that's not on. That's not on. And societies like, or countries like China and Australia and even England, where people are not armed to defend themselves, they seem to fall prey to this to tyranny more easily, and thus succumb to just playing along with whatever the government demands of them. And I believe this is the reason behind the fight right now. It, I mean, propaganda is, I believe, accounts for a lot of what has driven people against each other, and thus people are in a case of feeling that they're defending themselves from perceived attacks. If things do get kinetic, people do have means of defend themselves in America. But for those of us in other countries, we simply have to stand together with those who want us to stand together. And it appears to be picking a side to stand with patriots, but patriots are standing with everybody. That's the funniest thing. For those of you who can defend the defenseless, God bless you. And it would appear that that's what the left feel that they're doing. See, we're defending women's rights by promoting abortion, and then the right people from the right say, no, we're defending the baby's rights by being pro-life. And ultimately, in the interest of democracy, that certain people of a certain political group seem to want to promote so much. If you leave it up to a vote, it would appear the masses once enough facts are brought out to the pros and cons of the matter, or the gains and losses, if we wanted to talk in fact terms, it would appear the majority don't really tend to side with actions that tend to infringe on rights of the helpless. If you want to know where the majority of opinions are on a certain matter, sure, do a poll. If you want to know where the facts lie in a certain matter, just look it up with an unbiased mind, so that you can actually see a situation through and through. But sorry, I'm going off the deep end. The song is called "Run," isn't it? I'm going on a long run, just talking about what I've gathered from this experience that we've just been going under, that he's laid out for us in the eloquent first verse. Anyway, let's keep it going. Go, come on.
I make your favorite rappers run. I'ma make these demons run.
Is this song in reference to another classic piece I don't know about? It sounds a bit like ODB. For those of you who don't know, that's Old Dirty Bastard, another famous legendary rapper, but with a questionable history. And this definitely sounds like a variation on the Caterpillar beat that Eminem had with Royce da 5'9". But I gotta say, something about Bryson's songs and the way he performs them definitely feels churchy, but it's like a dignified form of self-expression, if you will. Rebellious though it may appear, he's simply talking something that could arguably fall in the realm of common sense responses to situations that many of us have found ourselves in over the past 2 years. But bring it back down to the foundations. Christianity, if you're that way inclined, make these demons run. Just anyway, let's see where he's taking us. High point. What's this?
Y'all must forgot where I'm from. You better than who? I'm doing what they never could do. There's definite proof. They said that I'm a legend, it's true. They talking COVID, that ain't more or less than the flu. I'm a lion, y'all better stop bringing the pest to the zoo. Compare.
Dude, I do agree. Look, I say Bryson Gray is a powerhouse. I said this about the flu and COVID. In my opinion, I'm just gonna say this as my opinion because I have not proven it myself. Um, the whole thing about the flu numbers disappearing during the PCR craze, if you will, during 2020 in particular, and the lead up to it, sorry, in 2019, one could argue that many false readings were attributed to the large number of positive readings of COVID. But hey, I guess I'm taking a risk by speaking on this channel on the matter so frankly. But hey, I'm just going to do it. And now they got this test that they say that can differentiate between flu and COVID. This is what I referred to in my video. To me, that just sounds like they weren't able to differentiate it before, which is an admission that, oh, maybe you're dealing with flu all this time. I'm phrasing this as an opinion. Who's to say the test is indeed differentiating the difference between the two? We just would have to believe it, wouldn't we? But you know, when you bring this to certain people, that they feel you're an anti-science, a science denier person, and I'm thinking maybe you are, because how can you call something as so conclusively true when you yourself should be able to realize that there are holes in this in this theory, in this hypothesis you are posing. But anyway, powerhouses like Bryson Gray are a force to be reckoned with. They're a force, that they just bring out things that people have bitten their lip over all over the world. I mean, I'm happy I've got this YouTube channel, but there are many people around the world who don't only feel voiceless in online or anything, feel voiceless or with their friends. Some people don't even have friends to talk to right now, namely people in China who are locked away in houses over this. People in Australia who've been taken effectively to concentration camps over this, who dare not say anything against the system because, being disarmed, they have no means to defend themselves when the system wants to beat the truth into, well, the narrative into them. And facts don't need promotion like that. They're just evident. But anyway, let me know what you think, people.
I got balls, it's excellent too. You say I ain't cold, somebody ain't tell you the truth. They convicted, it's not the message, it's the messenger truth. Me while these rappers promoting, saying they're selling to you. Oof. I go by words of the most high, so don't try. You know I'm so fly, until my soul fly, that's no lie. You wanna know why confidence so high? That's because eternally I won't die. Torah keep.
Dude, I just have to drop in right now. What this man is, when it comes to the liberal arts, you know what I'm saying? The liberal arts, the humanities, the contribution he's made to art and music is second to none. And it's ironic that the humanities, they're called the liberal arts, in that something like rap that's typically associated with black people who typically vote liberal, are, or expected to at least, are, as Candace Owens would put, sometimes more aligned with conservative values, but they tend, but were they to express, and then, sorry, let me say this sentence, conclude this sentence again. There are black people who are akin to rap and other liberal arts, if you will, but have conservative values, and when they would and are surprised when they bring conservative values to the liberal arts, as to why sometimes what they would say would be beaten back. Case in point, Bryson's last song, Kanye West was right, and Kanye West would bring things like slavery as a choice to the table. Typically playing off the, what one could argue is an extension of the right-wing conservative belief that we are responsible for our own destinies. Although, There are some things that we are simply destined to do, but there are things that we can definitely change about our lives if we are to take responsibility for our lives. Um, one would say that sounds insensitive. How could you talk about something you have no experience of? Blah 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 blah. Blah. Despite liberal arts being a place where free speech is promoted, certain values aren't. So it seems. But again, the same thing could be said in the conservative neck of the woods. But the First Amendment is the First Amendment. People like Bryson, his voice is definitely an important part of the conversation to be had, and with what he's able to bring with his well-grounded outlook. Well, what I'd say is a well-grounded outlook. People can get a more of a whole picture, a complete picture, as of what we're dealing with in the culture war, if you will, or the cultural conversation that is at hand at the moment, at the very least. Let me know what you think, people. Anyway.
With a heater. If that offends you, ain't
You hear
sorry
what he's
because
saying
he
there?
turned
Now, by the way, if those people are his parents, I'm sure he thinks his mama dancing fly. Anyway.
I won't die. Torah keeper with a heater. If that offends you, ain't sorry. This ain't Justin Bieber. These boys just do it for the Franklins. Ain't no Aretha. It's time for me to say it off like Queen Latifah. I'm making Satan run.
Set it off like Queen Latifah for the Franklins. Oh my gosh, looking at Aretha again. Oh man. This kind of stuff should be introduced into the school curriculum more. I mean, this is my opinion. Things that just find their way into kids' ears in school a lot more in terms of rap, uh, ironically, are seem to be bereft of things with conservative values, such as bring out there. And people just would typically think Christian rapping is soft, uh, you know, and so on. But in a world where the world is in a world where uh, liberal, or I don't know, typically gen, Gentile or secular uh, teachings have become so heavily promoted to the point where some feel they're being pushed on people. People now feel that they would like to rebel, a typical expression of people on the left, if you will, rebel against the liberal side of side of things, and thus this conservative expression has become something of a way to express yourself and go against the system, or do or rebel, if you will. Ah, I gotta say, his his works definitely can serve as an educational program or a course of study in some cases. Anyway, let's see what's going. Just look at the topics he's covering.
I make your favorite rappers run. I'ma make these demons run.
Yo, man.
Y'all must forgot where I'm from.
Thanks, people, for listening to my my expensive take on this whole piece. But I just had to. I've not been on this channel for a while. I just had to say a lot. Every time I've not been on the channel for a long time, I tend to have a lot to just pour out in a reaction. But let me know what you think, people. God bless you where we go when we go. All peace.